Hi, I've run into a little bit of a problem here in trying to create a SAP Hana Cloud instance with the free trial for SAP BTP, and I'm just going to walk through the actual error and then a little remediation to get around it. Um, I'll talk through it as we go through. I'm going to go to my trial account. Everything's set up. It's a private account. It's set up through the SAP.com stuff for the trial stuff. It's going to tell me I have 90 days left. What happens is you create this thing, it creates a sub account called trial, and you're supposed to come in here and say, okay, I've got this dev space here, and I should come over and be able to say SAP HANA Cloud and create an instance. So I'm going to create this instance of SAP HANA database, and it's going to come up and it's got the user identity management stuff that the provider that pops up. I should be able to click this, and it goes to my old account here. So I'm going to put that in. I put the new one in. Of course, this will be grayed out in the video, I hope. And click log on. I'm not going to save that, and it's going to say this, sorry we could not authenticate you, try again. Now what should be happening is if when I click for the first time the HANA database and I click default identity provider, a screen should pop up that looks like this, and it's not on the free account. I have an S user with SAP, and this guy does pop up here and allows me to authorize. For whatever reason, that doesn't happen here on this account. So that's problematic because I can't create the actual HANA database instance or the data lake, and that's why I wanted to do this, to come up here and make that the case. So what I'm going to end up doing here is, since I showed you the thing, I'm come back to trial home, go back. It's jumping all around here. I'm going to come over and delete the trial account, and we're going to start all over from scratch. And I'm going to put this on pause while it deletes the account, because it could take a while. Anyway, I'll talk to you in a couple minutes when it comes back. Okay, so it's deleted the account. That took about 5 minutes. What I'm going to do now is sign out, see where that thing goes. Come to learn that this thing is pretty temperamental, so I'm going to come over also before we go forward. I don't know what this stuff is doing. And where is settings? I'm just going to go blah. Privacy and security, perhaps. And I'm going to clear cookie and site data. Boom. Clear. Clear now. Make sure it doesn't remember any of this stuff. Okay, I'm going to close the browser. Open the browser. Maybe open the browser. Well, it's taking a long time to open the browser. Go to my bookmarks for SAP BTP. Put the right one in here. Click continue. Doing the SAML authentication on the SAP Universal ID. It gets really confusing. It's going to pop up with a SAP Universal ID thing here in a second. I'm going to put my secret password in here. See if I remembered it. I'm not going to save it. And I'm going to wait a little bit for it to log on just to get started. And we should be here at the cockpit. Loading. Okay. Really fast. The first thing it's going to want to do when I do new stuff, I'm going to allow that. And I'm going to pick underlying provider, hypervisor for AWS and US East, create the account. And it's going to go through and create this account. And this will take another 5 minutes. So I'm going to put it on pause while this goes through on my personal trial. Okay, that took about 5 minutes, and I've got my personal trial set. I'm going to hit continue. Do want to make one note here is SAP does offer a free tier and a pay-as-you-go, which supposedly doesn't cost you anything, and I think they're moving away from the personal trial to that, so maybe this is why some of this doesn't work. However, you go through like the SAP answer sites, even sapsupport.com, whatever they call it now, there's dozens of these questions if I can't get past this with a trial account. Again, mine works with the S user, but with the P, I think it's the P users they give here, it doesn't work for me here. But anyway, might want to consider pay-as-you-go. Maybe this doesn't happen here. I'm a little bit afraid to do it myself because I'm afraid I might get charged something, but I need to read a little bit more into this pay-as-you-go free tier when I put my own credit card stuff in there. We're going to click continue. At this point, I'm going to go to my trial account, and nothing should be set up here. In terms of HANA or anything. I've got 30 notifications. That's great. Warning comes over. I have 90 days, and it's going to reevaluate in 30. You should be able to come over here into trial. We're just going to go through the machinations again of getting to the point where we're supposed to install the SAP Hana Cloud HANA instance. Click the spaces dev. Just click it right there. I should be able to click HANA Cloud and come over here to create HANA database, and I've ended up with the same situation. I'm going to close that. Same thing when I go to manage the SAP HANA Cloud. Same stuff happens. So we're kind of stuck. So what do we do here? So I'm going to go back to the sub account. We'll start up. This takes forever. Sub account trial. I'm going to stay in here, and I'm going to bull through this. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to instance and subscriptions, which you can get over here if you want. Instance and subscriptions. And I should have, the Business Application Studio here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new application. I'm going to click to create up in here. And click Hana Cloud, and I'm going to select the plans, tools, and create. And this shouldn't take too long. It's going to come over here and redraw. It's going to draw this tool set right there, and it's processing. And it's subscribed. This thing's going to pop up over here. This is annoying. Close that. It's not annoying all the time. And now I'm going to say, okay, can I come over in here and go to the application? And it's going to say, basically, oh, yes, in this case. I'm going to get into this. So I couldn't get there before. But now it's saying I'm not authorized to view the content. So one step forward, still some more to go. I can't create an instance because I'm not allowed to. Well, it says I have error loading the organization. So I'm just going to close this. I'm going to come over into security, look at my users, and give it some privileges. Here's my username and whatnot, which will hopefully blank out. I'm going to come over here to role collection. I click this little arrow there, and I'm going to say assign role connections, and I'm just going to give it all of the roles. Probably need cloud connector, database destination administrator. These are the ones right here that are probably the things. Now, before we do that, I want to note that the sub-account administrator is there, so this shouldn't be necessary. None of this should be necessary, but because it's SAP's trial stuff, but it doesn't work for people who don't have an S user apparently. Assign role collection. We want to note that if you have the universal ID and there's multiple things tied to your name, make sure that you have all your usernames with the same privileges. If you have an alias email that doesn't have the sub-account, the sub-account administrator, just add it. It's added at this point. I'm going to close this again because it says that the cockpit is a little temperamental with permissions, but I'm going to come back up here and log in again. Continue. I remembered my last guy. My last user. Here's my universal ID. Remember to blank that out and blank that out. My secret password, which I probably just foobarred. don't save, please. This nice little logo makes you feel like something special is happening. Universal ID keeps going. Cockpit is now loading, and I'm going to please wait. I'm going to go to my trial account. I could probably say don't show that again. Okay, so this time, instead of going through that rigmarole of trying to create an instance the way that the instructions say, we're going to come into here, under Account Explorer, go to Instances and Subscriptions. Remember, we just added the privileges to this guy. I'm going to click Go to Applications, log in again. I got there, so that still works. And now I don't have the authorization issue there. Updates were made since last time you're here. Okay, so at this point, I am going to create an instance. And this is where we're in, right? I'm going to create a HANA database, SAP Cloud. Click the next step down here on the lower right. Give it an instance name. I'll call it Work Around HANA. I guess I'll copy that and just put the description in. Put my secret administrator password in here, which I'll probably forget tomorrow. And the 2 users, DB admin and HDL admin for data lake, will expire after 180 days. Next step. I can't change any of this because it's a trial. So you can change the memory and the storage is all you can change in the HANA instance for the trial. It's deploying. Can't deploy replicas, because it's SAP's money. I'm just going to allow it only BTP addresses, but you can select a cloud connector or not, or you could let anybody in the world go or a specific IP address. I'm going to click next. I'm going to actually have the integrated data lake go, and we're going to need to have an instance name, and I'm just going to say DL for data lake. It does seem to be contain at most. I don't know. Okay, there. Click the next button. I can change the coordinator and the number of workers. I can't in the trial, but in the real version I can. Next step. Data lake, same settings. I can't turn backups. I'm going to allow only BTP addresses. I'm going to review and then click the create at the end. So you just go through just like standard SAP and see what your manifest looks like, and then say create instance. And this will take a second. You can see now the progress bar is down here instead of there. And notice that the all instances filter stuff doesn't have a go or a check. It just has a creating. I don't know if it's auto updating. I've just been coming up here and clicking refresh, and that seems to work to get these guys up and running. But right now you're going off and it's actually creating your instances for the HANA database and the data lake. So I'm going to put it on pause for a second until these guys come up, and we can see what happens at that point. And I just hit refresh and I can see that the HANA database instance itself is running. Do another refresh. The data lake takes a little bit longer to start up and to create, basically. So I'll just hold off until they're both running. But this is good news. Okay, well, I just hit the refresh button up here, and now everything is listed as running. So what does that mean? That means I can come over into here and open like the Database Explorer, I hope. Let's find out. Cockpit as a service. It wants the username. What is it? DB. I typed a D and a B. B add. Oh, I'm having keyboard problems. DB admin and my secret password. Click OK. See if I got that right. Registering database. Database Explorer for HANA Cockpit. Loading. Looking good. I see the framework. I see the instances and the catalogs. Yeah, look at that. Let's see. Tables. Ah, no schemas. All the schemas. Okay, cancel. So I got tables. Let's see if I can get. I don't know. What should I do? Select star from. I don't know. I'm just running something. I'm getting data. So there you go. System ID, H00, database name. I'm actually in there running stuff. Over here I can do the same thing. Let's go to HANA Cockpit. Probably going to ask me for a user authentication too. Or is this going to stall? Oh, there it is. DLadmin. DLadmin. Password, authenticate that. Fail. Oh, I think there's an H in front there. Go. I'm just doing that. Get some little sticky things, whatever they call this. Look, you got stuff to look at. Do quick links, choose authentication, all that stuff. Database overview. Thought you could move from a different one to a. That's not Open SQL console. Do all of them show up for the actual database? Monitoring, running, services running. Let's do all. Looks like they're all here. So you can go around and play with this stuff now. Just like as in regular instructions, you can come over and stop the instance, reset password, delete the instance. There's a patch or an upgrade. You can go do that as well. I want to point a couple things out here. I'm not, this is obviously not the pathway SAP intended for the trial to go, but if you come down here and hit refresh, I guess. Let's hit refresh. Why does this take so long? Oh, here are your instances. The scope is weird because these should all be in the dev space, but they're not. You can come over here and say they're in the sub account roles, and here are your roles you have. This should be the the space account with its particular roles assigned. So I don't know what the state is here. I mean, you come over here and look at dashboard this way. It does come in and allow you to get that in and log on as different use. Okay, it's a little different than the other one. Nope, same. Data Lake was a little different. Gotcha. But if you notice, if I come over to spaces, where are you? Blah, blah, blah. Instances, Cloud Foundry, spaces. Which is where we're supposed to be doing this. There's nothing in there. And it's still locked down as you don't have the space admin and the other one. The space manager and a space developer. Okay, click manage. And there we are again at the same problem. We're going to lock yourself. Be careful here because you will lock yourself out. Let's try it one more time. Type, secret password. Don't say, and I can't get in. So anyway, that's the video. You can get in, you can play around, work with HANA, just not the way that SAP wants you to get in there. I don't know if they know about this or if this is a bad way of getting stuff on. The other thing, you can, I don't know, we could maybe create another instance. Let's try it. That would be completely bad. Click next. Try again. I don't know if this is going to work. And I want to try again. Secret password. Next. Don't save that. Can't change that. Next step. Can't do replicas. That makes sense. That's fine. Not going to turn the cloud connector. Not going to do the data lake this time. Review and change and create instance. Well, that's I shouldn't be able to do this, but let's see if we can get. There we go. You may only create one trial, so it's smart enough at some level to know what's going on. But anyway, let's close some of the stuff. Close you again. Yep. Hi. Anyway, we can get to where we need to go by going to the trial account. Wait. Instance subscriptions. Wait. SAP Cloud. Click the ellipses. Go to the application. Cloud. Hana Cloud Central. And open up Database Explorer. And we're here. Anyway, able to get in, do fun things. I'm going to stop that. Boom, stop. And that's the video. Hope to have a couple more. I have a little bit more time on my hands now. I'm not working 90 hours a week. Some videos planned that are going to revolve around HANA and BTP stuff. So let's hope I can find some time to do more of these videos. So I remember how I do this stuff, because why I really make these so I don't forget. Anyway, talk to y'all later.